All right, Slate News Channel made a little video, and I want to go over it real quick. They released the information about, or the information that was released by the judge about there was some sort of little thing going on that was nobody wanted to release. They said it was information that was not necessary to the case, and neither side wanted it released. Apparently, a lot of the people that are pro Trayvon and anti George will had been waiting for this information because they wanted to use this. They thought this was the smoking gun to shoot that was going to prove that George killed Trayvon because he's a racist pig or whatever. But apparently that wasn't the case. And here's the information.
In the ongoing legal saga of George Zimmerman's killing of Trayvon Martin, newly released evidence suggests...
Think that was a little biased the beginning there? The ongoing saga of the killing of Trayvon by this mean guy. Oh, and then they show a picture of him where he was when he was arrested. You know, you've got Seminole County Sheriff's Office, the mugshots. It's just, you know, this is how you inflame people. This is how you make people think that somebody's guilty. You know, you call him a killer. You show his mugshots.
Police doubted the shooter's story from the beginning.
He said the police doubted the Mr. Zimmerman's story from the beginning, and that's just not true. They let him go. You know, I mean, they let him go after arresting him, but they did let him go that day, and they didn't arrest him, and that's what upset people so much. In fact, the police never did. The DA's office refused to arrest him. It ended up being the state had to step in with a special prosecutor, which was appointed by the governor. It was absolutely extra legal. It was not something that is normal in our legal system. You know, that's just not the way it works.
According to the Huffington Post, the Florida state attorney prosecuting Zimmerman for second-degree murder has submitted an early report in which an investigator writes, quote, "Findings show that George Michael Zimmerman had at least 2 opportunities to speak with Trayvon Benjamin Martin in order to defuse the circumstances."
So that was the smoking gun, or the majority of it. This is it. The one investigator suggested that if George would have stepped out of his truck at the moment that he was shaken in fear, the moment that he locked his doors, if he just would have stepped out of his truck and said, "Hey, my name's George. I'm cool. I'm just a night watchman. And, you know, I'm assuming you're a good guy, even though you're looking real suspicious. I mean, you're giving me the heebie-jeebies. You're reaching in your pants. Looks, you know, I don't know what you got in there, but you got your hands in your drawers. It's scaring me. So, you know, if you wouldn't mind, come on over here and let's just have a little chit-chat. Or, you know, if you don't feel like it, that's all right, too, because, you know, you're cool." No, that's not how it works. He's afraid, and that was obvious, and we're going to talk about that again here in a second.
Unquote. The same report suggested that, considering the physical size of the 2 parties involved, the use of lethal force did not seem warranted.
All right. The police report said that George was, 180 pounds and 5'6", and Trayvon was 160 pounds and 6'3". So, you know, in MMA fighting, that's pretty square. And if, you know, Trayvon had the age advantage and George was out of shape, yeah, I would say that was obviously wrong.
Investigators also questioned the fact that Zimmerman followed the teenager, but later described being afraid of him. Behavior.
All right, that was where he was remember, he was in the car and he said, he's checking me out. And he locks the doors and he's scared. You can hear it in his crackling in his voice. And then once Trayvon takes off, he gets out of the car. So they're saying that is a discrepancy because, you know, if he was truly afraid, he wouldn't have got out of his car. Well, that's not true. You know, he thought that Trayvon was going to go down that sidewalk, and he wanted to see where he went. Hopefully, get an eye, see which way he went. That's what you do.
that they deemed inconsistent. The release of the formerly sealed evidence was objected to by both the defense and prosecution teams, but Judge Kenneth Lester said Florida statutes protecting open records couldn't be ignored.
So, you know, Judge Lester decided to let it loose. Why? Because that's Florida law. You can't be keeping these secrets, and it was really a problem to the defense to have something hanging out there and everybody's wondering what it is. And of course, every media outlet's saying, "Ooh, look at this. There's information out here," and nobody wants to release it because they say it's inflammatory, which everybody immediately assumes it must be something terrible, some witness talking about some terrible thing, or who knows. So here's the damning evidence. Here it is. Judge Lester releases it, and what is it? No wonder the prosecution didn't want it released. They like the fact that there's some doubt out there in public opinion. They like that. I don't understand what the defense is thinking. This should have been released immediately, along with every other thing. If you've got anything else hiding out there, get it out there now. That's why people are having doubts, because you're up and down, you're back and forth. Why didn't you file a motion to dismiss this case yet? I don't know. I have no idea why they're not moving on it, but I guess we'll have to see. Maybe it's just for money. I thought that in the beginning, I thought that they were here to help him because they didn't know he was going to have money, and they were willing to come and stand in there and do his bidding for him. And I thought that's pretty good. But now I'm starting to have some doubts. All right, talk to you later.